It's actually 6:15 to 6 a.m.
Aloha, everyone. I'm Philip Ong here with Dane DuPont and Mayor Mitch Roth of Hawaii County. And the mayor has some news he'd like to share with us today. Go ahead, Mayor.
Hey, guys. Going good. How you guys doing today?
Excellent.
Busy, but not as much as you.
So, I think you guys have most of the updates about where the lava is. Still 3.4 miles, very moving slowly. So, all those that it hits the Saddle Road tomorrow, probably not likely. Looks like at the rate it's going over a week. One of the questions is that you guys have been asking and public's been asking about, well, where can we go view? Well, I don't necessarily, we're not viewing a site, although people will be able to view from there. We are opening up today a traffic hazard mitigation route, and this is to ease with the traffic on the Daniel K. Inouye Highway. So it's going to be just off of PTA property across from the Gilbert Kahele Park, off of the highway. It's going to be a one-way route, and it will go in about 4.5 miles from across from the park, and it'll come out by Huhu, by the Kipuka. There are going to be some rules. PTA has put some rules that they want people to follow the route. People can't pull over to the right side of the road, and they want people to stay with their vehicles. They don't want people hiking out into the lava, and I think they're putting a time limit on there. So a lot of things that we had to iron out. It was a collaboration between the state, the PTA, and the county, and we're pleased to be able to ease some of the traffic congestion and take away some of the risks that we're seeing on the highway. So, like I said, about 4.5 miles of viewing, and I got a chance to ride it the other night. Some of the testing that you'll be able to see is right there. And I think you guys know exactly where that area is. It's the old Saddle Road, but it is right in the area where the lava is coming from.
Well, very good. It sounds like that'll be a great improvement for safety up there. We've been hearing about some accidents that have been taking place, and that's always not good. And hopefully this resolves that.
Yeah. So, like I said, there'll be some rules. I believe there's a signboard as you come in that they're working on that will have the rules. We ask people to mind those rules, and I know that PTA wants to keep a limited time so we can get as many people in to see it. So there may be opportunities to park and peek. So I don't know if you guys have any questions.
That sounds excellent.
Go ahead, Phil, if you got anything.
Well, my question is this in place currently, or is there an opening time today for this?
We've been shooting to open this afternoon. It could be as early as noon, but right now there's not much to see in the daytime. I think most people realize. You drive by. I drove by yesterday and had to call and say, "Hey, we still have a volcano going up." The sunlight was down pretty much, and hopefully by this evening, sure, we should have that taken care of, where people will be able to get the best views, and be able to stop for a little bit in a safe manner without jeopardizing people's lives.
All right. So my question to you is kind of about what you see going. Oh, we still have your voice. Can you hear us?
You guys still there?
Yeah, we are. Can you hear us? All right. It appears the mayor is having some technical difficulties. We will try and get him back on. We also have a presentation following this one that we're going to be trying to transition to as well. Looks like he dropped out. Well, maybe we'll be rejoining here in a minute, but talk briefly about what we got coming up. We have two gas specialists that are going to be joining us to talk about the VOG, right? We have I'm sorry if I get the names wrong, but Evgenia Ilianskaya and D. Mosavia. And we are going to talk about, I'm sorry, it feels like cringing. We're going to be going through some of the gas data and talk about some of the models and forecasts for the here in a little bit. All right, looks like we are connecting.
All right, is there?
Yes, we are.
All right, sorry about that.
No worries.
Got bounced from the
It happens.
Yeah. So I don't know where I lost you guys, but we're hoping by this evening we'll have it open.
All right. Yeah, that definitely is the time to go see it, is in the evening when it gets dark and that glow effect going on. My question to you is about expectations at this point. How do you see this going forward? Like, what are you preparing for? What are your main concerns and along those lines at this point?
You say this, are you talking about all of the lava? It's going to hit Saddle?
The eruption, the big picture of what's happening.
Well, as far as where the lava goes, we're hoping it stays up at the Saddle. It doesn't hit the Inouye, but we don't have very much control. It's funny because I have these reporters from all over asking me questions. What are you doing to prevent it from hitting Daniel K. Inouye Highway or the Saddle Road? So I've tried calling Madame Pele. I've talked to some helicopter pilots about talking to him. None of that seems to work.
They know.
No one knows, and that's the thing. Even talk to Ken Han. It's hard to say what exactly is going to happen. There's a lot of unknowns out there, but we feel pretty good that it's not going to hit the road for another week. We talked to all of our partners, asked them to start making contingency plans for what happens, and for the county, we have some that are pretty big. Our mass transit, our buses will be pretty easy. They'll route the buses that go over Saddle around Coast, and that's pretty obvious, or through Kahu. For our BEM or for our waste, solid waste, that's a little bit complicated because we can't have a lot of waste in there, and we have a shortage of drivers and available vehicles to take that over. So they'll go around the side, and we're trying to work out plans if we can do overtime or what have you. But we're limited by the people that we have and the equipment that we have. But we're working on those things. Some other things that are coming up is what happens to like Matson and Conan, and they'll probably have to go around the other side. Luckily, the bridges on the coast, they should be all ready to go by time that if it does hit the DKI, they'll be fully operational. So we'll be able to get those ships over. They're talking about working with the shipping and maybe ship in things that would be going over the Saddle to either Hawaiʻi or to Hilo to minimize the need for doing that, which it's actually a good opportunity to really think about those things. About even if we don't have this emergency, start looking at these things. I always think that with every emergency, there's always an equal or greater opportunity. You start looking at things, you start thinking things. Why do we do this? Why do we do that? And why not this? And so a lot of questions are being asked, and we'll probably come up with some solutions that make us better off because of this exercise that we do. When you kind of question the status quo and come up with different alternatives, and so it's been an opportunity for us.
Yeah, definitely. I'd like to, since you mentioned it, question the status quo a little bit. So 2018, we lost, a couple highways. One of the fastest to be recovered, Highway 132, and that one took about 15 months. How long do you take to recover Saddle Road if it was to be covered? from when the lava, the eruption ends, basically?
It really depends on how big an area. I think we were talking about the day they have state funds to start working on this. I think it takes about 6 to 8 weeks for the lava to cool enough to do something over it. And so in conversations with DD and HAN or USGS, I think it would be rather quick. I think that depending on the size of the area,
right?
It's not like, and I don't want to jinx us, for the roads in Puna. I mean, there was a lot of roads that are hundreds of millions of dollars to repair. Which, by the way, we are getting really close. I understand the environmentals should be back, and our plans have been approved, so we're waiting. We can't go forward with until FEMA is just okay, because we did that beforehand. We jeopardized the funds that we have, but we've been working really closely with FEMA for some of the roads in Puna. I think this will be a different situation altogether. There'll be a very, I'm thinking a lot less impact than the impact roads in Puna. I don't see miles and miles and miles. Do you guys see miles and miles? Impossible.
Yeah, I mean, the real question to me was what Ken Han was mentioning a couple days ago, the 1935 flow, if it was to follow that one, because that one kind of got on the road and then stayed on the road for about 6 miles, and about 6 miles is about what was covered in 2018. The real thing about that flow, the thickness, right? That was on 2018, is how thick it is determines how much heat it remains and how long it'll take to cool off and all that. So a lot of variables, take it when we see it, I guess.
Yeah. So, but those conversations are already taking place.
All right.
And we're hoping for the best. So, these Maunaloa eruptions generally last 2 to 3 weeks. If you average them out, there's been some that have lasted days, some that have lasted a year. So we're hoping that before it hits the DKI that it stops, and so we don't have to worry about those things.
Right. It's always a possibility. It's a ways to go, and it's all flat out there.
It is always a possibility, but we're preparing for the worst, hoping for the best.
And one last follow-up on that road topic. Some of the projections are putting that flow close to the Mauna Kea access road. Have there been discussions as far as contingencies for that?
I think all of the road discussions, they have been having those conversations. Remember that those roads are state versus county roads. And there's a little bit of a good thing is that they have, better access to funds than the county does. And generally, we go through the state to get our funds. That's one that they're going to have. But we got FEMA line. We've been talking to them already, and we hope that we don't have to utilize FEMA funds for this eruption.
Right.
But we're already preparing to do.
Okay. Well, sounds like you got a handle on it. It's ever evolving situation, as we know. So can't fully contain the thing, but hey, we appreciate your time. We don't want to eat up any more of it, really. You're always welcome here, and we will. Yeah,
and I just want to apologize. I couldn't get on yesterday. We got pretty in depth with different conversations, especially this hazard mitigation road. I think the community has really been clamoring for something like this, and Philip reminds me that in 2018 we kept on promising, but we did and wanted to make sure that we deliver on things that we're talking about.
Yeah, and last time we talked, you were promising this, and now it's delivered. We appreciate that. You falling through on this one.
Well, I don't know if I was promising. I know that I was working hard to make it happen, but I think it's important, and I think the people who are listening probably think it's important as well.
All right. Well, thank you again for your time. We'll let you get going, and we'll talk again.
All right.
All right.
Thanks, guys.
Take care.
Mahalo, Mayor.